for all these years must now transform themselves into the posture of a ruling party. Pronouncements and utterances must be within that line. When I was chairman of the NPP under Taylor, I made some more stronger pronouncement than this. But we were lucky that we had not been victimized by the anti-establishment phobia, because we were not in opposition for a long period of time. So our expressions, our utterances were broad-based as we established our broad-based political party. You can transform, like we did. We transformed a war machine into a mass-based political party in every nook and corner of this country. That was one of our exercises.
Sure.
Now, the mandate that Molu and the coalition leadership had is to transform 24 political parties, opposition political parties, into synchronize them under one umbrella of a national ruling institution and guide them accordingly, get them involved in the process of decision-making, employment, extend it to them so that you cannot ostracize opposition, especially people under that phobia. It's an indoctrination, it's a breeding that they have gone through. All they know is to attack the ruling establishment. And then when you transform them into that, their utterances always. And sometimes the tune that you represent issues with has an impact on how it affects the...
So how do you see... Let me ask you first, before asking you how do you see what's obtaining in the coalition. Chief Allen, what do you think what is happening in the coalition is happening now?
Why do I think?
Why do you think so?
Because of dissension in the ranks. There are dissension, there are dissatisfied elements in the CDC. There are the people have been saying. The last time I was here, you were talking about the dissatisfaction and dissension between and amongst the members of the coalition. And I said here categorically that there was also dissension in the ranks within the Congress for Democratic Change. There were other individuals within, and I hear that all the time, where they make comments about their non-involvement in the process of decision-making. The solution to that is very easy and straightforward.
What's the solution?
The government must initiate... What you want to do is to expand the job market. You want to extend the possibility of employment. You want to mechanize agriculture. Luckily, we have $100 million given to Liberia over the last few months for agriculture. And once we get involved in the extension programs, get 1,000 acres in each district, that's 73,000 acres, and get human resources to go in there, use food processing plant, processing industries and whatnot, factories extended in the agriculture sector, training Liberians to become professionals in the agriculture sector and to man those type of technology that will bring in to transform the raw material into finished and semi-finished product. You will create a new avenue of employment.
That's a long term. That's a long term.
It's not a long term. This is the misconception that people have. It takes 6 weeks to 8 weeks for crops to grow. You got to prepare the ground. It will take 2 or 3 months.
The reason why I'm saying that's a long term because we currently have an internal crisis now within the CDC. You said it hasn't reached the coalition level yet, though.
That crisis does not affect the governing process. There's a difference when you draw the line between a ruling political party and a government.
How will you say that? Because it could likely distract the president, especially the president who's supposed to be thinking about how he can deliver. He has an internal problem. He has some aggrieved individuals in his coalition or in CDC. Are you saying that it's not distractional?
But there is a phenomenon to address that. And I think it's being addressed right now. Let's wait for the results of that. The issue is being addressed.
Are you aware that there was a meeting yesterday that did not end properly?
Well, I'm aware.
I'm sure you're aware of that.
I was there.
So how is that being resolved now?
Well, it is going to be resolved because at least the Standard Bearer, the president, have expressed his opinion and his views regarding that. It is left now with the leadership of the party and the parties when they extend the discussions and...
Do you care to tell us about the views of the president? What did he say?
Well, I think...
I know you were you in the meeting?
No, I wasn't.
Okay,
because it's a Congress meeting. The coalition was not invited because I think the president prudently wanted to deal with the Congress situation regarding...
but I'm sure you were told as to how did the president respond.
Yeah,
What did the president say so far? Because there's rumors that the president has indicated that he does not want to work with the chairman of the party anymore.
Well, that is an initial pronouncement made. I didn't hear that, but that's an initial pronouncement made by some people who attended those meetings. Maybe they misunderstood the context in which he said that he wouldn't be able to work. So that still is not final.
But you are close to the president. Have you been able to ask him, Mr. President, how do you think we can resolve this? Because
well, I know his feelings about it now, and I know that we have grievance and ethics. We have the governing council. We have other institutions within the party that will be consolidated and brought together to look through it and try to streamline it and make sure it doesn't get out of order. We have the capacity to do that. As much as we have the capacity to win a democratic process through a prudent and rational means, we also have the capacity to go through this matter and come out with colors. Yes, it is good. It is true that there will be dissensions. It's expected that there will be misunderstanding, but there are avenues and there is a format in a political party. There's a party constitution that governing the party and guidelines to proceed with these things. So I'm certain the beginning of this is to introduce the subject. The president himself, as the national leader, would express his views on that and his opinion.
Okay, I tried to establish contact, Chief Allen. I tried to establish contact with Minister Wilson Tappe. I understand he attended that meeting yesterday. He's now on the line. He's one of the senior members trying to broker the reconciliation. Minister Wilson, how you doing, Chief? Let me try to reach. Okay, how you doing, Mr. Minister?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much. Season's greetings.
Oh, the same to you. So, Mr. Minister, I understand that you are amongst the senior congressmen who are trying to resolve this thing in the ruling coalition. And there are reports that the meeting yesterday ended in total deadlock. The chairman and Representative Akaros Gray walked out of the meeting. Do you care to confirm or deny that?
First of all, the meeting did not end in the deadlock.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Let me say this to you. Every organization has instances where there is some inertia, some misunderstanding. Some people, because of the flow of information. So it is not unique to the ruling of CDC.
Exactly.
What is happening is just a simple matter of misunderstanding. And these young people who have struggled this long to bring this institution this far, few of them have some misunderstandings.
You said few of them? You said few of them?
So listen.
No, I'm just asking, you said few of them.
Yes, I said there have been some misunderstanding in the organization, and we have been working to bring the parties together.
Yeah.
We did that successfully yesterday in the sense that we asked the stand-up bearer, few older people, we asked the stand-up bearer. He was gracious enough to grant the audience. The audience was here yesterday, which included members of the party executive committee. As you know, in a situation where people are trying to find a middle ground in a situation, there will always be instances. In fact, in the first instance, or first situation, first sitting, you will have miserable, talking and all of that. But in the end, there was an understanding. And there, in fact, is some misunderstanding, and people are trying to resolve it. The stand-up bearer chaired the meeting yesterday, and other people were there.
So, Minister Tappe, before you go further, before you go further. I'm coming, sir, Mr. Minister. Before you go further, can you bring us up to speed as to what's the misunderstanding all about? What's the disagreement?
No. How will you say that? There was a statement that came from Chairman Mono to the public. I'm sure you are aware of that. Okay, and the statement contained some concerns that they expressed. So, as a party which has this government, it was necessary to meet and understand what is it that needed to be done, the way and fashion in which the grievances were put forth. So we don't want any problem in the party. So a number of elders got together to bring them into the discussion, and they were graciously in the discussion. The stand-up bearer, who is also the president of the republic, chaired the meeting, and the discussions were held. Two of our young people, the chair and Mr. Gray, decided, okay, certain things we want to see done, and they excused themselves from the meeting, and the meeting continued.
Excuse themselves officially? Did they walk out, or they excuse themselves officially?
But I don't know when you say officially.
Did they walk out? Because it's been reported that they walked out of the meeting.
But I don't know anybody crying into a meeting. You gotta walk to go into the meeting. To go out, you gotta walk.
So did they walk out? Did they excuse you in a more respectful manner, or did they walk out?
Yes, they were respectful and they excused themselves.
Okay.
Actually, yes.
So the meeting continue. It's an institution. And the next thing is the party remains supreme.
Yeah.
And I don't want other people outside to say they're trying to politicize. I can understand it's politics, but I'm going to show you and show all citizens listening to me right now. What is happening in the party to be resolved is that the first time the CDC have weathered far more precarious storms than this.
But Mr. Minister,
All of them that listen, that this thing is going to be resolved, it's going to be put together, and it's going to strengthen the party as an institution.
Yeah.
Minister Tapper, do you see this as regrettable, especially in the time, at a time when we got lots of challenges facing us nationally?
No, what is regrettable is that people try to read a mountain into a mole. That's what is regrettable. Every institution has a problem. So the CDC is not unique to the CDC. We have our political parties.
But do you think that the problem is timely now? Do you think? No, I'm asking whether do you think that the problem is timely now? Do you think that the problem within the CDC is timely now? That's the question I'm asking.
What's timely now the issue is there is a problem that we need to deal with. Yeah. So we deal with it. Why is timely? Nobody tells you. So on this radio you can't tell me what will happen to you at 6:45. Yeah. So you can't say it's timely.
Okay.
We have an issue as an institution that's what we are dealing with.
So how are you dealing with it now?
We are dealing because there is ongoing discussions among ourselves, and the party as an institution is determined to bring all of its people together so we can do what it was elected to do, which is to serve the interests of the people of this country.
Okay,
before
you go, let me ask.
All partisans from the CDC to be assured that the president is in a situation, the partisans are in a situation, the leadership is in a situation to have this matter resolved.
Okay, before you go, before we go, it's been rumored that the president indicated that he doesn't want to work with the chairman of the party anymore. Are you quite aware of that? Is it true or there's no truism in that at all?
Well, there are rumors too that the Atlantic Ocean will be soon be reaching Colombia, so you can return anything. No,
okay.
No.
Okay, the president did not say so. Many thanks, Professor Tapper. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, you attended the meeting. I told you just.
I'm very happy that Wilson, the minister, had clarified, said some of the same things that I said. A political institution has characteristics. They have individuals, then they have a system of damage control. Yes, you would expect these kind of things in a ruling party. You expect that in opposition parties. But when it comes to the possibility of harmonizing it and the capacity of the institution to harmonize that and make the partisans feel a part of the institution, again, for those who have a misunderstanding, like Minister Tapper said, it's misunderstanding, and then people are putting fire into it and making a mountain out of a molehill, like he said. Is the right phrase to use, because anything about the ruling establishment is amplified, some over-amplified, people reading their own meanings and other people trying to divide and take sides and whatnot. But I think it was handled very responsibly yesterday. I did not know the details. I'm happy that Minister Wilson has given you the details. There's a lot of misunderstanding and misrepresentation about the meeting that was held yesterday, but it was only held as a means of getting the older and more senior members in the party to try to harmonize whatever misunderstanding there is, and to try to get the public to understand that this situation has been blown out of control, and there's been a lot of misconceived ideas about it. But the party does have the capacity. And to all seditionists out there and members of the coalition, under the sound of my voice, I want to say to you clearly that a lot of damage control is being done behind the scenes, and this party will come out more united than ever before. It's happening all the time, and is a normal process in the political arena, and people should learn to adjust to it and adapt to it. Another point that I wanted to specify is for our younger generation of leaders also to understand one thing, that, and I'll keep emphasizing this because the president has done that successfully. He has changed his posture from an opposition leader to a leader, a national leader. we must now get our partisans, our senior members, our party leaders, our officials of government, our representatives and senators to adapt that posture of national leadership. You cannot make utterances anymore as an opposition party because, yes, we know the phobia has been bred between and amongst us for so many years. Parties being under opposition, they know how to challenge administration. It is a byproduct of an opposition political party. When we begin now to guide our younger generation of leaders to transform themselves into national leaders as opposed to anti-establishment elements, we go a long way. So this matter, like Wilson assured you, I had assured you in the beginning that this matter will be brought under control. It's being brought under control by discussions, by clear understanding, and to sift out the misrepresentation, the misinformation, and get back on track and concentrate on national leadership. That's what we are mandated to do. The coalition is mandated to take over the mantle of national leadership and to make sure that we make the lives of our citizens better. That is a bigger challenge than a minor issue in the party that can be resolved using the party constitution. And
okay, let me ask you this question before I'm sure I can open the lines. Chief Allen, I'm not asking you basically about an issue that concerns the Congress, the CDC only. I'm asking about an issue that concerns the coalition, which you are an executive member. Did the coalition expect the trend of events this way, the way things are going? Did the coalition envisage that look, we would have had some troubling times, and there would have been time that would have been difficult, and we have to do this, we have to do that? Did you expect, did you envisage this sort of times while you were campaigning and all of that?
Yes, indeed. It is expected in the political sector. It is expected in national governance that you have obstacles, that you have issues of national concern. Like you say, we're talking issues of national concern. You have dissension in the ranks. It is expected. You have various and varying political ideas. And the country now is infested with political parties, with various and varying ideas, all of them, some educated but inexperienced in national governance, and expect that this government is supposed to work some miracles and make things change overnight. But yes,
but that's the promise you made.
It's a gradual.
That's the promise you made.
Nobody, no.
To deliver.
Sorbor,
they didn't make the promise to deliver.
Sorbor, a political party and political parties in a democratic process have a platform. In their platform, they tell the people of the country or the institution what they are going to do.
We have the solution to the problem.
Our platform is very clear and distinct. And our government have the capacity to implement our platform with time. Forget about the worldwide economic recession. We have the challenge in front of us. We must deal with that. That is the challenge of national leadership. Yes, it's tough around the world. Yes, there are demonstrations in 15, 20 different countries. But we must use what we have to achieve our ends. And the way to do that is that we are blessed as a country with natural resources. And what is lacking in our country is what? The creation of jobs, industries, manufacturing, processing our raw material into finished and semi-finished products. That is what is lacking to build our economy and strengthen our currency. So we have to now embark upon that, which is part of our platform. We must concentrate on that now, and we're very happy that we have the $100 million coming through for agriculture, and we need now to get a dynamic person at the Ministry of Agriculture, experienced and exposed individual who would be able to juggle what we have and expand it throughout the 17 districts of 73 districts of our country and create jobs and build up professionals so that we can have a broader scope of employment. That is the challenge we have now, to transform our raw material into finished products. Liberia have 300 miles of coastal waters. Years ago, you had 40, 50 electronic radar fishing trawlers and shrimpers in our water. That is another area of gift from God. And we have to use that. We have to mechanize that, invite people who have the wherewithal to start, who have experience in fishing, who have the technology, the type of equipment and machinery to process on board and export to strengthen our currency.
While you're trying to do all of this, Mr. Minister, Chief Allen, how do you then, encourage our people to manage their expectations. Because all you're talking about, by January, you'll be about 2 years in office. So how do you expect our people to manage their expectations? All these things you are talking, yes, they are good.
Yes, it is very good and very important to do that. But how do people manage their expectations? By being committed, by being loyal citizens. You see what is going on in our country? You have a lot of disloyal citizens. Our people are fond of denigrating our country, denigrating government, denigrating their own fellow Liberians. And that is one thing that's lacking. Liberians must learn to be patriotic. You say a government failed. No government fails. Liberians fail in the performance of the official duties. Liberians are very lackadaisical. They are very weak about the performance of their duty, their attitude towards national government, their attitude towards national government property. And then Liberians also in the diaspora who use that as a stepping stone, as an excuse not to want to come back home because things are not all right. But Liberians must understand that discipline and dedication will get you anywhere once the desire is there. Liberians must learn to be proactive. You are in a job, you are nominated for a job, get in there and do your work. Stop acting as though you have arrived. Perform your duties so that chain that link you to the national government can also be fostered. But when people are relaxed and think that it is their government and they can do what they want to do, and other people say, it's not my government, I will just perform my duty. Once I get my salary, I don't care. Liberians on the other side are out there denigrating the country and making people on the social media think that this place is a jungle. And nothing is happening here. The government is failing, and don't go there, because Liberians must stop that attitude. We are denigrating ourselves. We are destroying our country. We are reducing the sentiment of our nation by the behavior of Liberians. I want to admonish Liberians to be patriotic and nationalistic in whatever they do. Respect for government property, respect for government authorities and government officials. Those officials must also respect themselves and be diligent in their duties of respective callings so that they can achieve the type of results that they need to achieve. I mean, just on the run like that, one small thing happened and people blow it out of proportion. Anything positive about the government is not heard of. The negative things are all promulgated all over the place, and there are misconceived ideas about the utterances, misconceived idea about the performance of government and all that. Look at Liberia, for example. During the Unity Party regime, they printed what? 16 billion Liberian dollars. Did you hear any pronouncement from the Information Ministry? Did you hear any pronouncement about it? There's no pronouncement about that. It's a function of government for the central bank to proceed in line with the legislature and print money. That right was only taken away from the central bank after it was abused by the previous governor, Mills Jones. After he started using the central bank money and the commercial bank money as a political gear to move on, the legislature said, no, stop. We got to stop this, man. We have to stop this now before it gets out of hand. And it was a little bit too late, but that's what happens. So all the small money coming in the country, everybody on the social media taking pictures and running with, well, what is that? A few $1 million coming to the country, a government of the day, your country? You're crying that there's no money in the bank. And money comes into the country and you're looking at it as a negative thing. Where is it coming from? I hope we don't owe for it. Are you the one to pay? Let people stop being overzealous about things in the country simply because we have too many opposition. And these opposition have not changed their posture into being.
And I'm sure you will agree with me also that it is because the way we also communicate to our people.
We need to communicate more often. We need to use the base of our national ruling party posture to amalgamate other political parties. Get them interested in some of your, what is this mobilization every time for? It's negative. When you mobilize, you must be mobilizing political parties that are of similar views and ideologies, which are all the opposition parties who want better for the country. So now when you do things, you try to get them in, and it's a bigger responsibility. You have to give Chairman Molu and others, leaders of the party, some degree of credit, because it is a Herculean task to be able to operate a ruling party with a change of posture under in an atmosphere where you have 36 opposition parties who are suffering from an anti-administration phobia. They've been breeding between and amongst them for some time. So there are dissension within the ranks of the party, and there are dissension within the ranks of the governing process between and amongst other political parties. So you have to now adopt the posture of a national leader. As I said, during the Monserrato elections, that will happen. When the CDC campaigned as an opposition party, you had people throwing rocks. Opposition, ruling parties do not throw rocks. You stop people from throwing rocks. So we had not transformed our posture then. I think the exercise is on now, where we are having a series of meeting and engagement with the leadership of the party and the lower ranks in the party to make sure that we have a wholesome functioning body where all of us realize that we are now a ruling party. And our pronouncement, our utterances, our actions
should
reflect the character of a ruling institution. All the problems will be solved. We can do that within by indoctrinating our leaders, our younger generation of leaders to adopt that posture. That is the simple thing. Let people stop blowing this out of proportion and widening the gap. You know, when there's a little crack and you keep hitting on that crack, it begins to expand. Okay. And people get the idea that they are being ostracized or there's dissension and it's extensive, it's going to affect government and all that. We are harmonizing that. Minister Tapper told you just now that some senior members of the coalition and the CDC are getting together to make sure that clarity is put to this matter and it comes to an end so that we can go ahead.
0776-089-713, that's the number to call, 0776-089-713, or better still 0880-514-096. Again, 0880-514-096, that's the number to call. Also, you call those numbers, you are live rated on the bumper shoulder. 0776-089-713. Let's take the first call on the line. Hello, caller. Yes, sir. Your name and where you calling from? Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Let's get our call on the line. Hello, caller. Yes, good evening. Your name and where you calling from quickly? Yes, sir. Go right ahead. Mm-hmm. Many thanks. Let's take this other call on the line. Hello, caller. Yes, your name and where you calling from? Okay. Many thanks. Let me see who I can get instead of calling the line. Hello, caller. Hello. Hello. Okay, we lost this one. Let's take this other caller on the line then. Hello, caller. Hello. Yes, your name and where you calling from? Okay. Okay. Let's take this other caller on the line. Hello, caller. Okay.
That we can put a spin around the activity that we need to face with reality and NOA. And it has to do with the current internal wranglings that the CDC is currently confronting. I'm using this platform to call on officials of the CDC to please share internal wrangling. So nobody say that there is no internal wrangling. We know that internal wrangling helps to strengthen an institution. People know they must be indicated that CDC is the ruling party. Any internal wrangling, obviously, it will have a square over on the governing process of our country. So we don't want that to happen. We want for CDC to muster the courage and settle this internal wrangling, so that together we can make this country better through the policies that are being questioned by CDC and obviously they are taking the measures gradually. So we want you people to settle internal.
Hello, caller. Hello. Oh, we lost this one. Let's see. Okay, get another caller. Hello. Hello. Okay, 0776-089-713, or better still, 0880-514-096. Let's take the final call and then we wrap it up quickly. Hello?
So people out there, I think most of the partisans and members of the public there have expressed everything. There's no need to come and repeat these things, but it is very clear that we will do everything that we can as a member of the members of the coalition to ensure we have had similar experiences in the political sector during our time as a ruling party, and there are ways to solve these things and make sure that they are harmonized so that the party can continue to function and perform the official duties of a ruling establishment. The fact of the matter is that experience is the best teacher. We have seen that these things can happen. And there are remedies. This is going to strengthen the party even more and give us the experience in problem solving. There are no political institutes during the Taylor era. You had a dissension in the ranks and you had misunderstanding. During the former Unity Party time, there were dissension in the ranks and there were utterances and misunderstanding. You would expect that in the CDC, especially with the inexperience that we have as an opposition party for so many years coming into national governance now. But the capacity is there. Tape said that, and I'm re-emphasizing that we have a party constitution. You have a grievance and ethics committee. advantage we have is that we have national leadership. And we have experienced people within our political institution that can do damage control and make our partisans happy. Our partisans out there are very dissatisfied over the fact that there's wrangling. No one said there's no internal wrangling. There is, and there would be, it will remain internal wrangling at various and varying level in the political sector. But the strength of a political institution is to be able to galvanize its strength and come back united with a stronger position. Some people have a lot of misinformation about the meeting yesterday. I don't want to get into that. I don't know any better because I wasn't there. I was just in the vicinity. But basically, I think the order of the day is to try to harmonize this matter, put it under control, and get busy with the governing process, which is a greater challenge to us. Our partisans should relax and understand that this matter will be brought to an end in the not too distant future. We are happy that the president and standard bearer of the party have expressed his dissatisfaction with it, and the chairman and other members of the leadership have expressed their views also on the reasons and the factors leading to that. And so we are happy that we have arrived at that. The next thing is to do some damage control and solve these issues. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Cyril, for taking time off your busy schedule to appear today on the Bumper Show. We really appreciate your time being on the show today.
Thank you very much. But you had 3 subjects and you had time to discuss only one because you were concerned about it. But thank you. And that is the most important thing right now, that this matter will be resolved and commitment will come from all sides to make sure that we move together in peace. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.